What's up, guys? Main man Sui here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always and staying healthy still in troubling times. Me, I've been sort of on a, holiday vacation, hanging out with the kid, priorities. So I didn't post here on YouTube for like 3 weeks plus. Sorry about that, but, I intend to post quite a lot of content the coming weeks. And I do want to talk a little bit about my experience with MK11. Unless you've been hanging out on my Twitch stream, maybe you don't know that I've been devoting a lot of time to Mortal Kombat. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about how I will be going into the world of Smash, and particularly Melee. So we're going to talk about those two things. So why did I give Mortal Kombat a shot? I actually tested and tried the game on release. I think it was in like pretty early, the spring of 2019 was when it dropped, right? And I actually tried the game, but me being an old, stubborn idiot, I immediately dismissed it because this is not Tekken. Did not allow the game to be its own thing. Did not allow it to have its own identity. To me, it was just not Tekken, so I immediately dismissed it without getting into the mechanics of the game. I was not willing to give it a shot. Too stubborn. And I did the same to Bloodborne like 1 or 2 years before. I was a Dark Souls 1 purist, and I was like, Bloodborne is not Dark Souls. I drop it. Don't like it. And that sort of stubborn attitude has hurt me a lot, to say the least, over the years. And I'm so happy. A couple of months ago, I gave Bloodborne another shot, and now I consider it to be, I would say, even better than Dark Souls 1. It is just a flawless masterpiece, I would say. In my opinion, it's very subjective. And then I gave Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. I gave that another shot, let it do its own thing. Does not have to be Dark Souls. And lo and behold, an incredible game. Not on par with Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1, in my opinion, but it's almost there. Again, subjective. So, learning from these mistakes, I was like, you know what? I do want to look into other fighting games. And Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm Studios, they've impressed me so much over the years. It's like ever since dropping MK11, I've just been watching like character reveal trailer after character reveal trailer and hearing about buffs they've made to the game, like DLC add-on with story, the Mortal Kombat Ultimate pack that just dropped, where you get so much content for, I think it is $60. And they introduced crossplay, something I guess we will never get for Tekken. If you don't know what crossplay is, it's allowing, for example, people on Xbox and PlayStation on consoles to play against each other. Instead of being locked to one console, I can only play against PlayStation Network users if I'm on a PS4 or PS5. Well, they allow consoles to play against each other, and it's just a wonderful feature. So that, imagine being on Xbox, where you probably don't have too many Tekken players. But suddenly, we have crossplay and you can play against the entire PlayStation player base. I mean, that's such a great thing, and they do have that for MK11, and if there's just so many features like flawless netcode. They have, in Season 4 of Tekken, we just got rollback netcode. It was buffed, it's better, but in MK11 it's literally flawless. The netcode is so strong. But there's just so much that make MK11 a very modern game in comparison to Tekken, from a technical standpoint and how much content you get. To make a long story short, been very impressed with what they've done. So after my, getting to know Bloodborne and Sekiro, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try MK11 again, and I'm not going to expect Tekken. Because every game doesn't have to be Tekken. It's actually kind of nice that games, form their own identity, their own way of doing things. And I try MK11 again, and I'm like, I go in open-minded. And I'm like, man, I really, really like this game. And I'm so upset at stubborn old main man for not allowing the game to impress me in 2019. But it certainly helps that I'm allowed now to play the Terminator, Arnold. So charming. He was not there in 2019 on release. And Rambo, of course, also a wonderful addition to the cast. Amazing DLC characters. And when you look at Arnold's intro poses and win poses, and then you compare to Negan in Tekken, it's just worlds apart for production values. And of course, NetherRealm Studios have backing by Warner, so you can't expect the same, and the budgets are most likely not the same, anywhere close. But MK11, from a production standpoint, presentation, it's unbelievable. And the voice acting, the graphics, the mocap, the facial animation, and the world building, with the dialogue and everything. It's I could speak for a long time about the presentation, but even the gameplay is pretty interesting. There's quite a lot of stuff there. It's I've always had a great deal of respect for... I don't like Street Fighter too much these days, but I've always respected Street Fighter Third Strike, where you have that parry system where you tap forward on an attack and you just parry it immediately. Very offensive, very effective, hard to do, and interesting, defensive mechanic. And in Mortal Kombat, I learned, and I've used it a lot now, you have a flawless block, which is similar to that, but even more powerful. If you tap the block button, pretty much frame perfect, when an attack hits you, the hitbox becomes active, you tap block, now the screen will say flawless block. And here you can tap up to immediately launch the opponent. So in this game where you have much fewer strings than in Tekken, as soon as you learn these strings, it's you can just destroy your opponent. In Tekken, you have to wait for a hide to duck or sidestep, whatever. In Mortal Kombat, just choose any hit of a string and just flawless block, launched. I really like it. I don't want to talk too long about it, but I've been playing MK now for a couple of weeks and I'm very impressed. Gameplay is fun, presentation incredible, so I'm gonna keep playing it, and I will be making content for MK11 on this channel. You've already seen me drop a few videos, but that will continue. So I'm sure I'm sure. I'm pretty damn sure my channel is full of Tekken diehards like myself. And maybe you don't like MK for the gore, the tongue-in-cheek humor, the character designs, the gameplay, 2D. It can feel clunky and sluggish at times. I'm gonna make more videos where I talk about the gameplay of MK. But if you're like me, you weren't willing to give it a shot, or maybe you haven't even tried it, I could actually really recommend giving it a try, because in my opinion, it's very impressive. Right, and I do also want to talk a little bit about Smash. I will be trying that as well, because Smash is one of these games that also has impressed me over the years, and I've been stubborn. I'm I don't want to try it, looks too much like a platformer. I still feel it looks a lot like a platformer, but you gotta give credit where credit is due. The game has remained active for, when did it drop, 2001? Melee has retained a die-hard following and community for 19 years? Is it that long? I mean, that's nothing short of sensational. Can you name any other fighting game that has done that? It's unbelievable. And that fact alone makes me want to try it and see what it's all about. And I also hear it's extremely fundamental oriented. The better player always wins. It's all about movement, and the movement is extremely technical, and there's very few attacks, so there's not a lot of labbing. You don't get cheesed out by, you know, this string, that string. So it's all about the movement and timing, spacing and timing. So that sounds very interesting to me. And from what I hear, the comparison you can draw is like Smash Melee and Smash Ultimate. From what I hear, Smash Ultimate, less fundamentals and more bloating, more characters and strings and, you know, more gimmicks. And it kind of resembles what happened to Tekken, whereas Smash Melee maybe can be compared to the Tekken game of the time, of those days, which was Tag 1, which is also like all about spacing and timing. That's all it is. Basically almost no cheese. Well, Ogres had cheese, but very little compared to today. And then Tekken 7 reduces movement and bloats the cast and strings and crushing. And I hear Smash Ultimate has had the same change. But you could say that about a lot of fighting games. I mean, Soul Calibur, pretty much the same thing. So that's why I'm very interested in checking out Smash Melee. It's going to be very different, and that's what I'm interested in today. I want to see different things, and I want to see what all the fuss is about. Why has this game, you know, remained such a force after so many years? And just looking at a game that's going to be all about those fundamentals. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and I will be looking at my followers for help with Smash, because I don't know anything about it. But I hear the community has constructed themselves, you know, like tutorials, matchmaking, rollback netcode. What an incredible community. So that's the way going forward on this channel. I hope you will find that type of content interesting. I sure will find it interesting myself. And again, I hope everyone is doing great and have a lovely day. Take care.